In my last hijab talk, I talk a lot about how the hijab is a commodity, it's lost its meaning, and how the hijab like influencer world and modest fashion world is kind of up in flames because of all the judgment being thrown around. In this hijab talk, I hope to follow up and give some clarification about different things and how our experiences as hijabis should unite us rather than pit us against each other. So inshallah, please enjoy. Alright, I just want to make a clarification. I'm editing the video right now and I realized I was rambling a lot because I didn't take the time to really process my thoughts before sitting in front of the camera. I just wanted to word vomit a little bit, and I did. So to clarify, alhamdulillah, when I was growing up, my mom taught me about the hijab as it being something that was an honor for me, a privilege. It was something that I always looked forward to and was excited about and was really proud to wear, because to me it represented my relationship with Allah and, you know, like me abiding by what He has ordained for us and prescribed upon us, and just having that love and fear for Him and trusting in His infinite wisdom, right? Because it is a struggle for Muslim women, especially in the non-Muslim world, to put on the hijab. Okay, so there's that, and that's my background. And in contrast to that, so often I see Muslim girls being told about the hijab from the framework and the rhetoric of "because I told you to," from parents, from siblings, from spouses, from teachers, from other elders in their community. It's more of a societal and cultural expectation than it is something that is religious. And inherently, when it loses its value, it just becomes so much easier to take off. When it becomes something that you wear, like when it becomes just a cloth you wear on your head in order to make sure that the older ladies don't gossip about you, or so that you don't get compared with other girls in your community, or so that people don't hate on you, then it's not for Allah anymore. And when it boils down, it's supposed to be for Allah. That is something that we often forget about when we talk about these things. We forget that it's for the sake of Allah. And so in that vein, when people are taking off their hijab, it can be sometimes a clear indicator that they're either in real fear of being persecuted for it, or they're experiencing a drop in their iman, a dip in their iman, which is natural and happens. And in such cases, rather than being so like critical, we should be really compassionate and more forgiving and trying to like understand and keep them within the community to foster some more positivity and growth, and, you know, just a safe space for them. In light of that, that is not what is happening. And like, I have people in my personal life who I love and grew up with who don't wear the hijab regularly, and that doesn't make them any less Muslim than I am. And it's really sad because they get ostracized for not wearing the hijab, or there's this external pressure. It becomes a societal pressure for them to wear the hijab versus it being something that's a part of their religion. And so again, me seeing that in a personal context has really made me realize that that's why it's so easy to take it off, because it's not something that's religious. It doesn't have that spiritual meaning anymore. It is not connected in tandem with your relationship with Allah anymore. It's become something that's more societal. It's something about keeping up appearances because Muslim girls are supposed to, because someone told me to, not because I want to for the sake of Allah. So when we are being critical and we ostracize those who don't wear it, all we're doing is pushing them away, and that's more detrimental than it is helpful. Because I don't think I can stress this enough, but what we really need to keep open is our hearts and our minds, because like only Allah keeps us on the straight path, and like it is up to Allah. So like we make dua for people and we try to gently guide when we are in the position to do so, and we seek that guidance when we're not. There are so many different facets to the entire situation, and if we look at it one-dimensionally and we look at it with like binaries, if we make it a black and white situation, then in no way will we be able to critically think about and respond to it in a productive and like solutions-based way. Like, just it's happening more commonly as we speak, and it's just frightening, because how do we address that without actually being open to talk? I don't know how to talk about this. Essentially, I picked up the camera because somebody wanted me to address the Dina Tokyo situation, and in addressing the situation, I didn't address the situation, so I'll do so here right now very quickly. Dina Turkiya, known as Dina Tokyo, is a huge influencer, a modest fashion hijabi Muslim influencer who has built her platform on hijab fashion and style, and kind of motivating young Muslim women to embrace their Muslim identities and don the hijab in creative ways, etc. She has really paved the way for a lot of hijabi bloggers as well. She's one of the OGs, I'd like to say. And she has decided not to wear the hijab full-time anymore. She has decided that she will wear it when she feels comfortable doing so, and she won't when she doesn't. And I know a lot of people who are struggling through that right now, who have made that same decision, who are struggling with that part of their Muslim identity. And to anyone who is struggling, I want to say first and foremost, you're not alone, and please have trust in Allah and have faith, because the hijab is something that not only is a physical covering, but is something that is really for your soul too. So yeah, but anyways, Dina has decided not to wear it anymore, full-time at least, and so people are reacting, probably righteously, angry, confused, hurt, betrayed, and disappointed. And I can fully understand all these feelings. They're all valid. When you are a young woman who watched Dina Tokyo's videos and felt inspired by her to put on your hijab, and suddenly she is no longer confident in wearing the hijab, you're gonna feel a type of way. But people are reacting very harshly. People are just shaming Dina, throwing her under the bus, questioning her faith, questioning everything, and calling it a business scam. And subhanAllah, we don't know what's going on in anybody's lives or in their hearts, so we're supposed to try to be gentle about these things. There's a reason why the Prophet ﷺ said, when you see something that somebody's doing that is wrong, you correct them with tact, with grace, in private. That's not what's happening. There are forums of hate just spewing out lava, and in response to that, I can see that she's being really defensive and calling the entire community a toxic cult. And I don't take any personal offense, but to paint us all with the same brushstroke and call us all a toxic cult is creating an us versus them rhetoric, a divide in our own community. And that is so dangerous, because then where is the space for compassion and forgiveness and for standing up for one another? That crumbles down when you put those type of walls up. Everything that has held the community together is at risk. And so it's really dangerous to have that type of rhetoric. At the end of everything, there's just a really huge lack of compassion and forgiveness. People are forgetting that influencers themselves are human too, but they are being put out in public. So because of that, there is an added responsibility that you take in publicizing your life in that way. Your personal decisions affect others on a much grander scale than in our regular day-to-day lives. So of course there should be more accountability for handling that type of responsibility on public platforms, but there's no easy or simple solution, and throwing somebody under the bus isn't the right way to go either. I just wish that there was more space for that type of dialogue, because honestly at the end of the day what we forget is that hijab is not for others, it's for the sake of Allah. So when somebody's struggling with it, that is a clear indicator that they're struggling with something internally too. And if we forget that, then we forget the mercy that we should show to one another in seeking guidance and hopefully offering it. I don't know. It's very hard because I think that most folks are wrong right now. And the scariest part is that many influencers are beginning to take off their hijab, are showing their hair inch by inch, you know? And none of that is right. I'll condemn it. Like, it's not okay. And to know that you are somebody with influence making it a trend, making it seem okay, like that's very dangerous, especially for young impressionable people watching your videos or your content. However, then that begs the question of like, where else are you getting your Islamic schooling and your teachings? And there's just so much that needs to be discussed in this entire conversation that people are forgetting to shine light on. Instead, personal digs and attacks are being made, sweeping statements and stereotypes and generalizations are being made, and none of that fixes anything. It just creates a bigger fire for everyone to burn in. So I think that we really need to find ways to move forward. And there you have it. I hope I don't revisit this topic again. I do want to continue to talk about hijab and a Muslimah's life and the realities of being a Muslim in the West and everything that has to do with faith outside of the drama. I don't know if I really want to address drama again, unless it's like, you know, tips on how to deal with drama. But yeah, leave a comment down below about your thoughts. If I've said anything incorrect, please forgive me, and please DM me to let me know so that I can correct that. May Allah guide us, forgive us, protect us, and bring light to our hearts and eyes. I mean,
Assalamualaikum. Stay tuned for more.